Calderon of Fight Hook News here with the champion, the legendary Antonio Tarver, the Magic Man. How you doing, champ?
Doing good, bro. Doing good.
Now, big news. The businessman didn't handle business. Keyshawn Davis losing his lightweight title on the scales today, coming over 4 pounds in weight. What do you think about that?
It's never a good thing when you miss weight, especially when you're the champ. You know, that says something. I didn't like it, bro. I didn't like it for him, man. I love Keyshawn, but you know, he got to learn from this, bro. And if they just sweep it under the rug like it ain't no big deal, I'm just gonna move up. It's a lesson to be learned in that, bro. You gotta take it serious. And I think when you miss weight, bro, it can only mean one thing. You push what you were supposed to do off to the side, you know, too many times. I'll get back to it. Oh, not today. Maybe tomorrow. You can't do that, bro, when you're trying to fight the best in the world. Because that type of frequency, that ain't gonna be the focused, committed, determined, you feel me, Abdullah Mason. That's what's gonna separate them two. The commitment and the dedication to the sport. And whoever has more of that gonna win that fight.
Now, it was very unprofessional of him to come on there. You think he knew that he wasn't gonna make the weight? Because the way he was talking was like, I'm ready for 140. I just wanna get this fight over with and move up to 140 pounds.
I've been stopped trying to figure out what's going on in these young men's mind. I've been stopped trying to do that because you never know. I just hope he hurts for himself, the embarrassment and the humiliation and the fact that it's unprofessional. I think I want him to hurt a little bit. Be embarrassed, bro, because you should be. And I'm telling you, if you don't feel that way about it, that shit gonna linger on. And it's gonna happen when you least expect it. And that's gonna, you know, could set you up for failure. That's all I'm saying. It could set you up for failure. Stay on that same path that you've been on, bro. Keep that same energy. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. But doing that now, it shows me, bro, that you wasn't as focused as you know, pretended to be. You know what I mean? So I ain't gonna harp on it. You know, let's see how he do in the fight. He's a young fighter. He can learn from this, but the lesson has to be learned. Because if it's not learned, then it can show up again. And, you know, I don't like it, bro.
Now, it's a disappointment because we're not going to get to see the Gervonta Tank Davis fight at 135 pounds. We're not going to see the Abdullah Mason fight and also the Raymond Moratar fight, who just became the IBF lightweight champion now that Lomachenko has retired from the sport of boxing. We're not going to see any of those 3 fights against Keyshawn Davis. Keyshawn moving up to 140 pounds. There's a lot of sharks in the water at that division. Who would you like to see him fight next at that weight class?
Well, you know, a healthy Teofimo Lopez, you feel me? Something like that. Or 140, Haney probably can't make 140. I'm not sure, bro. I'm pretty sure there's some action down there at 140, though. Who's at 140? My boy
Richardson Hitchens is going to fight next weekend against George Kambosos.
That's going to be a good fight. You can watch that. You can watch the breakdown on Tarver's Take on YouTube on that one.
All right.
I got all the breakdowns out there right now up until like July. I still got to do Usyk and DeBose. I still got to do, no, I got Edgar Berlanga out there. I got Keyshawn, Shakur Stevenson out there. So go catch up before the fights on Tarver's Take.
Now, Shakur Stevenson, he's fighting next month in New York City against William Zepeda. What do you think about that fight? How you see that fight playing out?
That's going to be a good fight, man. Zepeda got power. And, you know, he's been tested. You know what I'm saying? He's been tested. It's going to be a good fight, man. I still got to lean towards Shakur figuring it out and, you know, having, you know, just being able to go in his bag. He got a lot of tools. You know what I mean? So he got options. He got a few things he can do. I don't think, you know, Zepeda have a whole lot of things he can do to be successful other than put that pressure on Shakur, make him fight off his back foot and keep the gap close. Keep the gap close, you know what I mean? And that's going to be tough. But hopefully Shakur come to fight and come to put on. You know what I mean? He's one of the best defensive fighters in the game. I think if he used his defense, fought off his defense, make them guys miss not by a mile, but by an inch. And then you could be right there with your speed and power to land clean and right back on your square. But, you know, this is what I teach, bro. I can't give everything away in one take, but all they got to do is come see me, bro, if they want, you know, to break that Da Vinci code. and open this whole thing up for them, bro. They, you know, that's what's missing though.
Now Shakur got to look good against William Zepeda. You know what I mean? A lot is riding on this because everybody wants to see the Gervonta Tank Davis fight. Now that Keyshawn is out of the weight division, those are the two main guys in the division to put it on. And, you know, Tank got to handle business in the rematch against Roach. Roach is definitely a player. I thought he personally won the first fight. It was a close fight, wound it as a draw. We got to see what the next fight looks like. But everybody wants to see Shakur versus Tank. What are your take on that?
Man, I think that fight probably should have happened already. You know what I mean?
It's lost its luster?
It might be lost forever. You feel me? Because these guys going in two different directions. You know what I mean? It all depends on what happens in the Tank rematch anyway. And both of these guys got fights. And so I don't even want to talk about no fight when these guys got real fighters in front of them, bro. We've been seeing that lately. Bro, take care of the business at hand before we start looking down the road, because you see these guys getting upset, bro. They losing. You know what I mean? So, you know, you got to keep your mind focused on what's in front of you, bro. Forget about all that. One fight at a time. Then you take care of that business, and you can sit down with anybody. You know what I mean?
Now, before I let you go, I always ask you this question. I'm going to still drill it. I definitely want to see the Magic Man back in the ring. And the man that I want to see him against is the man, Jake Paul, who is fighting this month in 3 weeks against Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. I know I asked you this question before when he was fighting Mike Tyson. This is a fight that I've been asking for right here in Orlando, Florida. The hometown man, the experienced one right here against Jake Paul. What do you like? What do you think about that, man?
I'm 30 years older than Jake, bro. You know, I don't know how that would look, but I don't know if I can beat somebody 30 years at anything younger than me. You feel me? So, but, you know, if I would come back, it would be for something huge like that. But I'm enjoying where I'm at right now, bro. I'm in the trenches with these young fighters, bro. Kenzel Williams is one of them.
So you're training?
Yeah, bro, and that's what I'm
not
focused
looking to
on,
get
bro.
back in the ring right now.
I'm looking to build champions and help these guys win. That's it. You know what I mean? But every now and again, I get an itch when I start hitting the bag and all that, hitting the speed bag. But I'm cool where I'm at, man. You know what I'm saying? It'll have to be something huge to get me back in the ring.
I feel you, champ. Thanks
sure.
a lot. I appreciate
Thank
you
man.
for your
Appreciate
time.
it.